As the calendars changed from November to December, it was now time for the Huskers to make the 1997 season a championship season. That meant beating Texas A&M in the Big 12 playoff in San Antonio.
About to come in here, about to run through Texas A&M. We're coming to play today. We're number one.
After a disappointing 96 campaign, the Aggies had reestablished themselves as one of the best teams in the country. But it didn't take long for the Huskers to show that there is a difference between being one of the best and being the best.
Back in the pocket goes Brandon Stewart, and right away, sack! Back at the 14-yard line, Jason Peter, bad back and all, gets to him.
Playing with a back injury that limited him to a half day's work, Jason Peters' sack was one of 6 recorded by the Blackshirts. It was only the game's first play, but the message was clear. The Big 12 belonged to the Big Red.
And it shows that Jason has a lot of heart. I mean, for number one, and we knew his back was hurting for the last couple of weeks. And once he went down, we were somewhat prepared for it. Me and Steve Warren, we had been alternating all week long, and we just knew we had to pull together.
While A&M managed just 2 first-half first downs, Nebraska scored on 7 straight possessions. Beginning with a 6-yard run by Scott Frost, who had yet another outstanding day. With 79 yards rushing and a season-high 201 yards passing, his stats were impressive, and so was his leadership and all-out versatility, which proved once and for all that he was the league's best QB.
Scott Frost runs the ball and passes the ball very well, but you watch this here. He just obliterates a guy at a peelback block. I mean, he knocked him from here to Sunday. Holy cow.
Another guy who had another great day was Chris Brown, who ran his streak to 16 straight with 4 field goals on the day, 3 of which came in the first quarter, as Nebraska jumped out to a 16-0 lead on a team that was giving up just 14 points a game. While the Aggies were already feeling the heat, the Huskers were just getting warmed up as the second quarter began. After A&M went 3 and out for the 4th time, NU got into the end zone 4 plays later when Amon Green stretched in at the end of a 25-yard run. It was the first of his 2 touchdowns on a day in which he carried the ball a career-high 34 times for 179 yards. After A&M got on the board with a field goal of its own, the Big Red got the ball back with just 2.5 minutes left in the half and made the most of every second. A 3rd down pass from Frost to Davison was Scott's 10th completion in 11 attempts, and it was good for 51 yards to the Aggie 17. 3 plays later, Joel Makovica paved the way to pay dirt with a devastating block at the goal line that helped the Huskers take a 37-3 halftime lead. With 172 yards on the ground and 176 through the air, it was NU's most balanced attack of the season.
Especially in that game, we really tried to balance our attack. Going against their defense, there were certain things that they were very vulnerable to. We feel like with our rushing game, it's pretty much unstoppable. And if you try to, line up 9-10 people in the box, then, we have the players and the ability to make plays in the passing game as well.
Meanwhile, with a -5 yards rushing at the break and just 13 for the game, Texas A&M had no attack at all against a Nebraska defense that finished the year ranked 5th in the nation.
It felt wonderful to go out there and just bust them up, because they're supposed to be the most physical teams in the nation and all this type of stuff, and that Texas football is supposed to be so rough and tough, but we just showed them who's the best team. Just went out there and took it to them right in the mouth.
After NU added 3 in the 3rd, both teams scored twice in the 4th quarter to make the final 54-15, giving Nebraska its 12th win of the year and its 59th in 5 years. But more importantly, it gave the Huskers what they wanted most, the Big 12 title and a shot at the national championship.